Hey guys, so today we're learning about function notation and evaluation. So previously, you've had problems that say let y equal x plus 4, find y when x equals 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hint, remember a t-chart. So previously we said, okay, well, if this is your t-chart, we're plugging in the 1 into this. So that's going to be 1 plus 4. Well, 1 plus 4 makes 5. Then for 2, you're doing 2 plus 4 makes 6. Then you're doing 3 plus 4 makes 7. 4 plus 4 makes 8. So now the only difference is we're not going to use a y. It's not going to say y equals. So function notation. Since the input x changes the output y, y is a function of x. It can be written as f of x equals x plus 4. Basically, the f of x replaces y. F of x is fancy for saying y. So it doesn't matter which way you write it, it still gives you the same chart. So function evaluation, you can use function notation, that's the f of x, to assign input values and find corresponding output values. So instead of the y equals x plus 4, we're going to rewrite that and say f of x equals x plus 4. It means the same thing, but now you're going to have a question that says find f of 1. So you're using your f of x function right here, and it was f of x, but now it's f of 1, meaning the x is now 1. So you're going to take out this x, and instead you're going to put in a 1. So 1 plus 4. That means f of 1 equals 5. And if we look over here when we made our t-chart, when x was 1, y was 5. That's the same thing here. X is 1, y is 5. They just call it something fancy now called function notation. So let's try down here. Example, f of x equals 4x minus 7. F of negative 2 is the input value. That's what's going in for that x. The output value is when we actually solve it. So it says to find the output value, you should plug in or substitute negative 2 for x and simplify. So this is how it's going to be written, f of negative 2, and it was 4x minus 7. But now we're taking this x out and putting in a negative 2. So it's not 4 times x, it's going to be 4 times negative 2. So 4 times negative 2. Don't forget to bring down your negative 7. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Minus 7 gives you a negative 15. So f of negative 2 equals negative 15. Okay, let's try some over here. Evaluate the following functions. And in small letters, it says just plug in the number for x. So let me zoom in some so we can see it better. So evaluate the following. F of 10. F of 10 means we're using the f of x function, x plus 4. So I'm taking this x in the x plus 4 and making it a 10. 10 plus 4 gives you 14. Okay, so that was the f function. Next, though, we're using the h function. So that's up here. So that one is negative 4 times 2 raised to the x power. So that's going to be, so negative 4 times 2, but the x is in the exponent, so you're putting a 3 up top. When you type this into your calculator, we are going, let me zoom out more. So you're doing the negative 4, let me turn it on, negative 4, and then it has the 2, so parentheses 2, and then to get the exponent of a 3, I can't just put 3, because this 3 needs to be small up top. So I have to use this button right here, this caret button. It's called a caret. So caret 3 makes the 3 small up top, and then enter, gives you negative 32. Okay, let's try g of 2. So g of x is 5 to the x power. This x up top is in the exponent. So g of 2 is going to be 5, and it's not to the x anymore, though. It's 5 to the second power. So 5 to the second power equals 25. Go ahead and pause this video, and you guys try h of 5, g of negative 4, and f of negative 1. Okay, so you should have tried the bottom 3 by now. So h of 5, so the h function, if you just look at h, this is your function for h. And we're plugging the 5 into the exponent. So that 5 is going up here in the problem. So it's going to be h of 5 equals negative 4 times 2 raised to the 5th power. So negative 4 times 2, don't do that part first. You have to do the whole thing. Caret key, right there, to the 5th power gives you negative 128. Okay, g of negative 4, g of x is 5 to the x. No, not 5x, 5 raised to the x. So g of negative 4 is going to equal 5 to the negative 4. So 5, caret key, negative 4, gives you 1 over 625. And lastly, this is f of negative 1. So your f of x was x plus 4. But we're doing f of negative 1, meaning it's going to be negative 1 plus 4. So this is going to equal 3. Okay, so for the next section, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite f, g, h, and j so we can see them better. So those are the 4 functions we're going to use for these problems. We're going to do a and c. So on a, it says f of 2 plus j of 1. So on a, we're going to separate this into 2 problems. We're going to first find the f of 2, and then we're going to find the j of 1. So f of 2 means we're using this function right here. So it's not 3x anymore, it's 3 times 2 minus 7. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 7 is a negative 1. That's part of our problem. But the second part is j of 1. So j of 1 means we're using this function over here. So -2 with the exponent of x plus 1. So that's where this 1 is going to go. It's going to be 1 plus 1, means it's -2 squared. -2 squared should give you a positive 4. Make sure if you're typing into your calculator, you're putting the parentheses around the -2 because -2 squared gives you a 4. But if you just do this way, it gives you a -4. So this bottom way is not correct. Make sure you're always using parentheses. But our final problem wanted us to do f of 2 plus j of 1. So -1 plus 4 gives us a 3 for our final answer for A. Okay, let's do C. C says f of 5 and h of 1. But notice how this problem is a minus in between. So you have to make sure you're going to subtract them in the end. So f of 5 is going to be 3 times 5 minus 7. That's going to give you 15 minus 7, which is an 8. H of 1, where's h? Here's h. So it's x squared minus 4x. So we're putting this 1 in 2 times. So it was x squared minus 4x was our problem. So we're putting a 1 in for this squared right here, minus a 4 times a 1. Again, make sure you're using parentheses. So that's 1 minus 4, which gives you a -3. So for our final answer, we have to do 8 and -3, but we're subtracting. So it's 8 minus -3, which makes this a plus sign, so your final answer is 11. So over here it says we just learned how to find f of 3 if we know the equation. That's when we plug it in. But what if we're not given an equation, but we're given a chart? So your life's even easier if we're given a chart. So if you're struggling what these things mean, so f of 3 means what is the value of f of x when x equals 3? So find the values. So f of 2, remember it was f of x, but now I'm giving you the values for x. So if f of 2 is right here, the answer is 6. The next one says f of 4, so that's the x value of 4 is 8. And then you can go backwards. It says if f of x, so now we're looking at this second column right here. If f of x equals 7, so I'll change colors. So if f of x equals 7, then x is 3. If f of x equals 5, then x is 1. So go ahead and pause this video and try the next problem. So for these first two problems, we're looking at the x column because these values are in the x spot and we're going to the right side for the answer. For the second ones, we're looking at the f of x column and going to the left because we want to find out what the x is. So when f of x equals -9, the answer is 12. When f of x equals 12, that's when x was -8.